Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Good. What's going on? What's that?
I was saying work. Work is going on.
Got a lot of work going on, don't we? Hey, cops.
Hi, Cam.
All right. Cool, cool. How's everybody doing? Sorry, I'm getting a few things teed up.
Hey, sorry, Brandon, I was on mute. I didn't mean to be rude. I said, hey, Brandon, and everyone.
Oh, that's okay.
It's okay.
I'm actually staring off on my other screen anyway, so I apologize. Okay, I just had to shut down. I've had like, I don't know, 50 tabs open. It's not even noon yet. So, Cubs, how's your shoulder doing? I forgot to ask the other day when we talked.
Yeah, it's starting to feel better. I go back to the doctor on the 2nd, so hopefully he'll tell me I can get rid of this sling. I don't know if he will or not, and I'm anxious for physical therapy to start. But
Yeah,
it's starting to feel a little better. The pain is going away. So
yeah, yeah. Um,
I can send you the X-rays. I can send you the X-rays if you want them.
I don't know if I have a stomach for that.
It was I've got the doctor for some reason the other day sent me the one before and after, and it's
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons I didn't go into medicine.
yeah,
Number one, I'm not
exactly.
that smart. Number two, I couldn't handle that much school. And number three is really that my stomach just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
our daughter Kate is in nursing school, and in her clinicals she's sharing some things that she's experiencing, and I'm like, yeah, la, 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 la.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Morning, James Gilman. Morning, Josh. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. All right. Well, it's 11:02. We'll get started. Hey, I want to talk today. You know, we flirted with it last week about getting into video. I think last week we had a great conversation and we just never got to video. So I want to touch briefly on referrals. I feel like it's kind of died off. I'm not sure how many people have picked it up and ran with it. We could do it again, and I could be a little bit more rigid with everybody and make sure that we're getting it done. But how is everybody done on asking people for referrals or working with a referral like a partner that you send referrals to each other? How have you guys gotten on that? Okay, let's move on to video.
Joshua, you're on mute.
Oh, that's why maybe Josh was, and I'm sorry. I go like
Hey,
20 plus years back, and I just can't get Joshua down. I call him Josh all the time. So Joshua, I'm sorry.
I answered to both, but apparently
I
not while
know.
muted.
Yes, very true. Very true. What were you saying?
I said good. So I've gotten about 10 to 15 solid people that we're looking out for one another now. So
Awesome. How'd that tell us about the process and how that went?
So basically, just I'm trying to really build my local community. Just short pedigree for me, for everybody. I worked for an online e-commerce business for 15 years. So like my network is really, it's across the entire country. But I really have a small network here in my local market, which I'm trying to change. So I've just been going out and, kind of playing piggyback with different business leaders and saying who else should I talk to? So
Awesome. And how did you go about asking people to be a referral partner? And how confident are you that they didn't just say, oh, yeah, sure, and then nothing will happen?
uh I don't know. I mean, I think I think part of it is really it's dependent on my ability to show them that I'm serious about driving business their way. I mean, and that's really where I've seen the more meaningful conversations happen, is where I spend more time talking about them and their business and their needs, as opposed to what I'm looking forward, so that it doesn't really come across as a sales pitch really, but more of an authentic, I care.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, Bob, gosh, why am I blanking on Bob's last name? Oh, come on, Brandon, with the Go Giver.
Berg.
Oh,
Bob Berg. Thank you. Gosh, come on, Brandon. But with Bob Berg, I love Bob too. I mean, his whole thing is, you got to lead by being a giver, and you got to go into it knowing that most people, unfortunately, they're going to take and not receive, but you do it enough, you start finding other people who are also givers, and it doesn't take very many. You get five or
Yeah.
six people over a career, and you almost can make a living out of those good relationships and the referrals, where you got people that are actually looking out for you because you've been looking out for them. I think my experience has been, I love to be a giver, and I get discouraged because you tend to attract a lot of takers. And then after a while you get a little jaded and just go, screw it. So staying in the game, and just go ahead and be a giver, be a giver, be a giver, and know that you can't outgive the universe. It'll eventually pay off.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally relate with that, Brandon. And there's a book too, The Referral of a Lifetime.
Hmm.
I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but that's another good book, and it talks about the concept about there's only so many close relationships that you can nurture, but if those 250 people around you know exactly what you do, you'll be that person they refer to all of their 250 people. So the exponential compound. The referral though, for me, I've actually seen a lot of positive momentum from guests that have been on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's only been 25, but there's been a solid handful of people that have referred other people to me, and people that I would never in a million years be connected to and have the opportunity to talk to. So I've started to see some really cool momentum pick up, and a lot of neat doors open up that wouldn't have otherwise. So
That's cool. It's good to know. That's awesome. Chris and I were just talking with his soon-to-be co-host Caitlin on their show, and we were talking about, I got on my soapbox, right, Chris? And I was talking about this. Hey, this modern way of doing things. Look, as a CEO, if I could put 5 people on a phone and know that it was going to give me a good ROI, I would do it. The reason I don't do it is I did it in 2018 and lost my ass on it. It just wasn't producing. So this rising above the noise, you hear us talk about this with Fist Bump a lot, rising above the noise, staying top of mind, consistency creates credibility. All of that, it's not just jargon words. Like, this is the business world that we live in. And doing it with the show, what I love about the show, and we're going to talk about video today for this purpose as well, but I would love about the show concept is you're educating while entertaining. And I've got the data that's showing it is we're amplifying these show shorts to custom audiences, the massive amounts of mind share. And I know it's hard for a lot of CEOs or even sales leaders who are like, I got to get the meetings, we got to get the revenue. And I'm like, you got to be a little bit patient. This isn't long tail, but it's also not direct response. But as we're kicking up our ads right now, so I'll be able to give you our data as well. But as we're taking these interview style videos from a show, and we're putting them in front of a custom audience of people who we want to influence. And we don't do it as a CTA, a call to action ad. We do it as just a brand awareness ad. It's really super cheap. But the mind share, an average video ad if you get 3 seconds, then Meta or LinkedIn or YouTube will call it a view, but it's 3 seconds to call it a view. We've been getting averages of like 25 to 30% of people that watch the entire video because the style is entertainment. The person who's the guest gets automatic credibility because they're a guest on a show. The host gets credibility because they're a host of a show, and it breaks the news feed of all the talking heads, right? There's room for talking heads. I think we need to do that. We're going to talk about that today. But I think that style really stands out. It pattern interrupts the news feed, and we're getting more people. And the data is just incredible. And we've got some other data, but I love going back to the one that we did with Ludia because the data was so amazing with Ludia TV. I mean, we had 600,000 minutes of viewed content in 4 weeks on a $3,800 spend. Like you just can't compare that mind share that you're getting. And I know the intangible is like, so what? Well, the so what was, and this is where the risk, this is where faith in this, marketing machine comes in, is they had people walking into the booth because we had focused it on a audience that would be at an event. They had people walking in the booth that just said, man, I just see you guys all over my phone. Tell me more. And they had 4x their qualified pipeline from the single show. 3 months later, they were at 120% their revenue goal from the show that they had planned for a year. Took them 3 months to hit 120% instead of a full year. This style and video and everything works really well. We just have to commit to it. And that's the hard part. It takes a little bit of time to get going, and we get scared or we get nervous, like, oh, this doesn't work, and we move on and we quit. And that's why the average show has 8 episodes and people quit. So, Chris, I may step back on my soapbox after what we just went through with you and Caitlin and talking about all that. Any comments on that at all, James? I know anything else you want to share about how your show is working for you and how that's happening with referrals?
What you said, I mean, the eight podcasts, that it's real. I mean, the desires and the second guessing and the doubts and all that stuff, right? I mean, I think it's anytime we start anything new, not just a podcast or video, right? An exercise or any type of new habit, it's no different.
Yeah.
I have been pretty overwhelmed though. One cool experience, one of the guests on the show invited me to be a part of a networking event yesterday over
Dude,
at the Battery.
I can't believe you. Oh, you was at the Battery. Not so bad.
Yeah. And I didn't realize what it was. I had no idea what I was getting into, but I met the CEO of another company, and we were all sitting at a round table. And this was Dirk Beveridge, he told everybody about my podcast. I didn't do it, but I was in the room where he told everybody about the podcast, and everybody's eyes like, no, what? And so then the whole rest of the day, or the whole rest of the time we were there, people were talking about, how do you do it? And so I got an opportunity to be on another podcast, picked up like 2 or 3 other guests for the podcast. So it's just neat to kind of see the momentum. Who knows where it's going to go? But again, actions lead to more actions. So
yeah, it's really cool. I didn't realize that event was with Dirk. I'm wondering, like, I think I showered when I met with him the day before, but I didn't get invited.
He told me how much fun he had with you the previous night.
Okay, well, good.
So
I'm starting to wonder.
No.
Yeah. We had a good talk. Yeah, I can share that offline.
Brandon, he used you for fun and then made James money.
What's that?
What?
He used you for fun and then made James money.
Yeah.
There you go.
I didn't make
That's influence.
Happens a lot of times when you're more of a giver than a taker.
There you go. Brandon, if I could just, I want to kind of piggyback on top of what Josh was talking about earlier with regards to just kind of leaning into these relationships. And I will fully own that I did not meet the quantity of people that I had set out to do. But one thing as I kind of look back on it. I have done a lot of networking in June, and I've really leaned into a couple of relationships with some extra vigor. One of which is this woman, Caitlin, who I'm going to be we're already kind of partnering together, but through kind of the talk about creating more deep, back and forth partnering relationships, kind of led me to, kind of take this offer to her to co-host a podcast together. And again, with Brandon's, help and coaching and so forth, hopefully we can make that work. But she's doing like 3 live events. She's a meeting planner, event planner, and her target audience is kind of the same as mine, right? She's really kind of reaching out to all other event planners from a corporate standpoint, hoping that she can build a community as well as find opportunities for herself to step in and be kind of a freelance event manager for hire type of thing. So the synergy between the two of us is great. Like we totally have different networks, but we're talking a lot of the same ICP, which is great. So she's hosting 3 events, one in DC, one in Boston, one in New York. And I just happened to be attending a show in DC at the very same time. So we started talking, and we're going to throw in some money as a sponsorship for her 3 events, which gives my company and myself an opportunity to, have a table and have a little bit of the spotlight and kind of share in that messaging. So just kind of, identifying those people who you can work with and then looking for opportunities to help each other. So she literally said, she's like, Chris, I love my partnership with you guys. I'm not even going to ask for any money. I just want you to be part of this. And I went to my boss and I'm like, let's throw her a couple grand, let's throw her a little bit of money, help her kind of seed that, and we get this benefit, and we're going to co-create all these opportunities. And then the second one is there's a guy in my network who is a local guy from town here, and he's running a fundraising cornhole tournament for his son who has epilepsy. And he came to me and he's like, hey, Chris, I know we do a lot of just back and forth sharing. He's a really active LinkedIn user, and he does some great network there, and he's always really happy to kind of bang the drum on Blue Hive and me and so forth. So we kind of leaned in, and for a few $100, we're sponsoring his event. He's putting our logo on the back of his t-shirt. And I just saw a post this morning where he's, put it out on LinkedIn. Hey, we're doing this fundraiser. Thanks so much for all of our sponsors, including Blue Hive, with a link, right? So for super short money, which I'm literally taking out of not my pocket, but my expense bucket. I'm not even having to dip into corporate money at all. I'm able to kind of help just bolster these relationships and add value to these people who are already out there kind of willing to bang the drum. And I think it's just building really even stronger relationships. So I guess the message there is like, rather than go quantity, I went smaller numbers and went quality.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing all that. Well, anyone else, anything on the referral partnership side? And then we're not going to miss out on video today. No, I know at some point, Butch will be able to share. We've put a new partner program in place that we'll actually share with all of you at some point, but I think Butch is learning a lot on the partner side and asking, building those relationships that he could share. So, hey, let's get into video a bit. I'm going to reiterate what I said last week, and I know this is it's getting me out of my comfort zone. Guys, I just want to tell you right now, you guys know I went all in on LinkedIn about 4 years ago, and that started getting me a little bit out of my comfort zone. My first show sucked because I was so rigid and all of that, it just was I was coming off so serious, and it just wasn't gaining the traction. So I've had this learning curve of making mistakes. And I'll be honest, I intentionally started being more focused on LinkedIn. And I said, oh, it's the business platform. But honestly, guys, I went in on LinkedIn because I felt I didn't have to be as energetic, or I didn't have to be as creative with my videos on LinkedIn as I would be on Instagram or Facebook. And I think we just got to the point now, and I got to move faster, and Noor and Aya are getting me moving faster in this direction, and Amir is helping us with some of the edits and adding them. But I do believe, guys, as LinkedIn is adding in the video news feed, we have no choice but to start. I mean, we have a choice. I get it. But if you want to rise above the noise, you want to create quality relationships, we want to create demand instead of capture demand, all the things that we talk about, which are the principles of fist bump. They're the principles that I think drive modern business. We've got to get out of this comfort zone a bit. And I know it's hard. It's going to be hard. I think the style is you open up your LinkedIn mobile app now and you look and you see, the news feed. I don't know if you guys have experienced it yet, but down below we got video, and you just start looking through. It's a different style of video. Look at what's being played. It's much more of an Instagram style. It's much more of a TikTok style. And look at that. Every single one of those was pretty much the same style until, well, and that one was an ad, right? This is what they're showing. That's crazy.
How do you, Brandon, I just clicked on it too, because you showed it. There's a lot of random nature of what's coming up here. How does it get filtered? Or
I believe, and I don't know this totally be true. My other group, I ask a bunch of questions, and we're all kind of speculating. To some people pretend to know that they got better relationships with LinkedIn, whatever. Right now, it's pretty random because they're just trying to get people start using the feed. I believe right now we have a huge opportunity to be, early adopters of this style of video and really amplify our personal brands and therefore amplify our business brands. But we've got to play the game. We've got to give the style. I think the algorithm is going to play well if we create the style of doing that. Does that at all answer your question? I think right now it's really random because they're just putting, your newsfeed is seeing more the style they want. And because there's not very many out there, you're just getting what they have. With 1 billion people, but still we're just getting what they have. And what I see is this trend too. A lot of these big Instagram influencers are quickly moving to LinkedIn because they know there's fertile soil and it's empty right now. Like there's room for them to massively grow their brand on LinkedIn because there's not a lot of competition. And this is what's getting me excited because I want to fist bump, as you guys know, and there's opportunity there. So I'm leaning on Aya, Amer, and Noor to really push me and take, help me build those graphics and those things that I've just been nervous to do. Because I know it's time. If we want to get fist bump where we think it could be, it's time for me to break out of this shell. And I want to encourage you guys to do the same. So James and Cups and Seth, if you're watching the video, Michael Connor's already got his going. We're here to help you. We want to create the theme. I'm going to show you a couple things that we've done, and the team is ready to help you with doing this. And for those that aren't part of our concierge program, my encouragement is start small if you need to, but I believe we just have to move in this direction. And right now is a time. If we wait 3 months, I think we're going to kick ourselves for not jumping in sooner. And it takes us out of our comfort zone. I get it. There's an entertainment value that we need to hit in order to bring our education value, in order to build our personal brand. Right, wrong, indifferent, not right, wrong, or indifferent. Like it or not, I don't love it. Like, I don't love it. There was a reason when I was trying to do acting in California as a kid, I didn't do well. I just didn't like this whole but we got to do it.
Hey, Brandon, can I piggyback off that really quick? Just share my own personal experience. So working with you, Noor, and Reem, that you guys have been like my accountability partner and have super forced me outside of my comfort zone. I want to believe that I could do it by myself, but with everything else that I have going on, there's no way, number one, it would be as consistent and be as effective. And number
Yeah.
two, I'd cut myself break and wouldn't be pushed to create the content, do the things, send the emails, do the everything else. So for what it's worth to you guys and for the rest of the group, thank you for everything that you guys have done, because y'all are the reason why the podcast is a success and LinkedIn is growing like gangbusters. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, Hubert's going to reach out to you to get that on video for our new website.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Happy to do it, man. Happy to do it.
Yeah. And Cups, I know, I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot. I know this is a challenge for you as well. And I know that you're in the healthcare space and that makes you a little bit concerned. I'll speak into, I think that even though they're in healthcare, they're humans on the other side. They're spending time on Instagram. They're spending time on TikTok. They're spending time in Facebook. They may not be there wearing their healthcare hat, but because they're spending time there, the expectation is there. Let me go back to something real quick and then I'll shut up. You know, you guys have heard the term that Amazon has changed the B2B buying experience, because the way that we've started buying things as consumers, we started to move into the way we wanted to buy things in our business process. Amazon made it so easy as a consumer that as a business buyer, we're like, well, why can't I experience this over here? I think the same concept is happening. We spend time in Instagram or TikTok looking at these videos. Like I spend a lot of time in TikTok because that's where I fulfill my inner hippie, like all of my natural medicine people and all of that type of stuff, you know, my psychedelic stuff and all those things. I get that from TikTok, but I don't create TikTok videos myself, but I get a lot of the consumer content there, which means when I'm in LinkedIn and that style of video comes across me, I'm tuning into it. And I feel that and see that happening with myself. So I'm ready. I've given Noor my you can get mushroom TikTok. I know mushroom TikTok. I know psychedelic TikTok. I'm happy to share with you all the links. Yeah. And for anybody that knows my story, like you understand why. Yeah. I got thrown off course with mushroom TikTok. Thanks, Chris. I don't know if I'm kind of embarrassed or kind of proud of being able to say it, but look, the medicines changed my life. That's all what I'll say. Cups, what are your thoughts around healthcare? Not to put you on the spot. I know this is hard. You're in a tough spot.
Yeah, well, I think it's more so the sophistication of the user. I mean, we're struggling just to see if they get active on LinkedIn, much less are they on their mobile and maybe they are on their mobile more, but we're just not seeing a lot of interaction from the key contacts in the sector we're in. So it's challenging to interact with them on that medium, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the videos. It looks like you have to do a thanks, Reem. I appreciate that. Are you raising your hand? Just real quick. So it looks like they all have annotations of some kind on their videos. So there's text, there's images and stuff coming up around them. So I mean, it does have to be that produced, do you think, or is it just sit and talk?
Yeah. I'm gonna wait. Amir, Reem.
Yeah. Well, Reem
Aya.
raised her hand. I didn't know if she wanted to add something to my comment.
Well, and I'm following my team's lead. Like they're getting me out of my comfort zone. And what I'm believing and what I'm seeing is actually being spoken to me by my team. So Amir, Noor, Reem, Aya, you guys answer that question for Cups.
I have something to add. Now, I'm sure when you open the videos now, you're just going to see a bunch of random videos that might not be relevant to you in any type of way, but this is how they all start. Now, think about someone that is in the health industry and just liked one video about health or related to the industry. And from there, all the video recommendation is going to start to flow. So we are
Smart.
just waiting for one like. So it goes the same for you as well. When you check the videos now, all the videos are playing because we don't have any past algorithm to your video preference. So LinkedIn is just showing you everything. And from you liking videos and from you checking videos often, LinkedIn is going to give you the videos that you're going to like. It's going to give you videos that is relevant to you, is relevant to your industry, relevant to the prospects that you follow and that you want to have conversations with. I think this also to the other side, when you post something related to the health industry and someone else likes a video from this industry, your video is going to pop definitely. So we just want to make sure that we're there just in case someone from our prospects that is active on the mobile, not the laptop. And again, everyone is live from their mobile. If you check on the DMs, if all the prospects, they're not going to respond to the comments on the laptop, but you're just going to see live on mobile. Everyone is live on mobile. So we just want to make sure that we're there, and we're there firstly. We want to be the first people that put and push our videos from our industry. So when we boom, we're the first ones that we did it. That's my addition to all of that.
Yeah, that's good. Amir and then James. Amir, what were you going to say? And then we'll go to James.
Okay, so yeah, I wanted to reiterate something Reem just said and add something of my own. Because yeah, we want to be, because it's very, very crucial to be the pioneer of something and start it early, not to just piggyback on the hype train or piggyback on the bandwagon when it gets popular. You want to be on the forefront of the I don't know what the word is, but the forefront of the screen. And you do that by Cups, you asked if it has to be overproduced or it has to be, or you can just sit and talk. You can do both, but recently you can see in the style of how we're evolving on the internet. I mean, Instagram became obsessed with Reels, and Reels are the thing that's booming. Facebook has Reels, YouTube has Shorts, which are very, very efficient right now. TikTok is, I think, the biggest platform in the world right now. And LinkedIn followed suit, and I think the LinkedIn Shorts or LinkedIn videos, the one for mobile is going to be the biggest hit on LinkedIn for a while. I think it's gonna shape the way people create the content on LinkedIn for a while instead of the typical way we used to do it before. And yeah, it doesn't have to be overproduced, but people's attention span started to become shorter and shorter, and people need to be distracted, or I mean, have their eyes glisten while watching something. It just having people talk or just having the screen have captions isn't just enough to have people be fully immersed in what you're trying to say, and having it be short and precise and concise, I think is the way, and I think is a style to go with all the videos we're doing. Because if it's a long video, it has to be a long format and it has to have the people that already want to see this. But if you want to attract new people, it has to be quick, it has to be concise, it has to be split.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know what the word is, but
Yeah, and that's where, oh, you're on mute, Reem.
Sorry, I was saying shorts, and Cups already knows that, and he's seen the shorter the post, the shorter the video, the more views, the more impressions. And again, we're circling back to where we're scrolling fast through the phone, and any information that has been told to us is hearing the information is quite different than reading a post. This has its own pros and cons, and this has its own pros and cons. But again, the shorter the video, and there's like, of course, there's like a scheme to a good video, which is being short, having a good background, you speaking clearly. The more raw it is, it will do fine. The more subtitles and animation that it has, it will do fine as well. So this works and this works, and that's it.
Cool. James, go for it.
Yeah, I was reminded about Red Bull when we were just going through that conversation. And Red Bull, if you look at any of their advertising, they never advertise their product or their can. They're advertising, right, something completely different, right? And so
Lifestyle.
I was thinking of, and Joshua, you could probably tell us way more like the reason behind that marketing. But I'm thinking I don't think if I talk about my stapler that people are going to watch a video, right? But this is my business, right? So finding, and I'm translating that to healthcare or really to any other industry. So don't necessarily have to talk about your specific product, but creating content that engages people. And then, oh, by the way, there's the logo of Perimeter Office Products too, or there's the logo of fill in the blank of your company. So it's kind of like the Trojan horse, so to speak, when you're creating good content and you're just always being there with, with those videos. So anyway, I don't know. I just wanted to add that to the flow of the conversation and see what you guys thought about that.
I think it's spot on. I mean, really, it's like when it comes to content, really, it's like people want to be entertained, they want to be inspired. And so Red Bull's whole thing is like it's they're selling lifestyle, right? And so if you drink our product, you're gonna want to fly a plane. And now I'm not wanting to fly a plane, and I'm not jumping, I'm not doing 100-foot dive into the ocean like some of their athletes, but I'm engaged by it. And so when I am in the shopping pattern, that is the brand that I think of.
Yeah.
So,
and I see you that with your chasing the waterfalls and the beard, Joshua. So you're kind of creating that. So,
and I think that was a key there. I'm sorry, who'd I interrupt?
No, go on. I was just gonna add something regarding Red Bull because I don't know if anyone knows that, but I worked with Red Bull for 4 years. I was a marketeer there. And we had a method actually, and it's spot on what James said. It's the hidden marketing. We used to call it cookie or nugget. And it's spot on what you said, James. It's basically putting the can within the video, but not sponsoring the can itself, not popping it open or drinking it. Maybe the sound of it popping it, but not like concentrating the whole video about this can or this energy drink or how we drink it. It's mainly you just talking and being you in front of the camera, but your product is right there, or your logo is right there, or the idea is right there. And then you're not pushing you're not pushing the marketing into the viewer's face. You're just being there. You're being relatable, and people are just checking, hey, who's that? And why is this video interesting? And then, oh, this is James working in 1, 2, 3. And from there, the whole cycle begins. So you're spot on. And this is actually like #1 marketing scheme for Red Bull.
Cool. I think that even at smaller businesses, we forget it's selling something else other than the product. It doesn't matter if we're selling tech and healthcare or a booth or a service like we do, or office supplies. I think, James, when I think about selling office supplies, I think of Shave Club.
Mifflin. Wow.
Well, of course, Dunder Mifflin, but I think about Shave Club, right? They took something as boring and everyday as a razor and created this huge brand and community around it. And it's just a razor, and they actually weren't even very good. Razor. For me, I got kind of a thick beard, but I tried them once and it just ripped my face open and said, screw it. But I loved the brand, and they built around it. And I think when we drive that down to our personal brands, that's still what we're selling. We're selling, it may not be the lifestyle, but it's the emotion, it's the feeling. And for me, as I'm looking at growing Fist Bump, and I'll share this with you guys just as an example, we're getting niched, focused more and more as we're learning that my brand is around business owners and C-suite that are over, 45 to 50, who are scared, nervous, hesitant, whatever, to use this thing called social media and use a personal brand. But we got to build my personal brand around that so that there's thousands of people out there that are like, when they finally get the courage to do this, like, I'm the guy. And I want you guys to be thinking about that with your own brands and your companies. Like Josh, I think bringing in the hiking and the micro beer and all that stuff, especially being in Portland and trying to build your local network like that seems spot on. You could probably talk mushrooms in Portland, and that would be a part of it as well.
For sure.
TikTok on there. But, you know, it's like thinking about Chris, think about, you know, who your buyers are. I know we've talked a little bit about this. They tend to be a little bit younger, they tend to be female, and you're in like this high energy industry. What do you have to do to appeal to that audience? And again, you're selling booths, but what are you really selling? What you're selling, like success, you're selling a belief, you're selling a convenience. What is
Mind.
that?
Yeah.
Peace of mind, right? And these style of videos give us that opportunity to really create it. Cups, how would that? I have one question, Nora, I know your hand's up. Cups, how, as we're having this conversation, what kind of thoughts and ideas are coming to your mind for healthcare? And Reem, you may want to speak into it as well.
Well, my first impression was maybe not so much healthcare as much as taking a symptom of the problem, which is productivity, and turning the productivity piece into a subset of concepts about, and it could get and I think, and I may be overthinking this, but talking about individual productivity up through team productivity and just kind of oscillating through those concepts, you know?
Love it.
Yeah.
And I love about that too, is you've got a book called Time Bandits. It's all about productivity as well. Like your whole
Yeah.
personal brand. I mean, I'm seeing things about, I don't know, do we get bandit things for you? Do we tap into using a raccoon that looks like it's bandit eyes or something? Like, you know, I'm being serious. Like we got to brainstorm this out, but those little things, like you got Time Bandit, you got productivity, maybe you become the hero against anti-productivity, and you can kind of bring that into the things that you do. Like it's simple things too, like an animated cape or something on some of your videos. Like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're the hero. We're going to stomp out bad productivity. It's cheesy. I get it. It gets us out of our comfort zone, but it's freaking memorable, right? James just brought up Red Bull, right? When he said Red Bull, how many of you guys said Red Bull gives you wings, right? It's in our head.
Yep.
Nora, you've been patiently waiting. I'm sorry. Do you even remember what you were going to say?
Yes, I do, because you guys are just bouncing it around, but I just want to I want to simplify the process, because I remember, Chris, you were talking last week about your thought process when it comes to you creating a post from scratch. And my advice, don't overthink it. It's two simple things. What is your end goal? Why are you doing this? And how am I going to start? It's that simple. So my end goal is for people to know me and to recognize me. And eventually they're going to recognize my business, my product, my industry, whatever. But where do I start? I start with thought leadership. And that's the easiest thing, because you all have that mindset of leadership and empowerment and teamwork. And those are very simple topics you can speak to that would get you out of your comfort zone little by little until you start speaking boldly and loudly. But taking yourself step by step, moving slowly outside of your comfort zone, instead of thinking, oh, I need to hop on this now. I need to do it now. How do I do it? Where do I start? You're just going to freak yourself out. Start super simple. Talk about something that you noticed in your team or in a meeting or a client conversation, like Brandon always says. These things happen to you every day, and they are super simple to summarize in 40 to 50 seconds. So pop up your phone, talk about it, post it, and then you're going to see the flood of comments and likes and reactions. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to go on the trend overnight. You might, but the purpose is for people to see you, to know you, and then eventually, let's say 50 or 60% of them might turn into business opportunities. And I saw something very interesting yesterday on LinkedIn, but I can't find the post anywhere right now. It's when you see the word 300 views on your screen, how it looks like, an actual 300 views in real life. And they had this picture of an auditorium full of people. and that's 300 views. But you see the number on screen and you see, oh, that's only 300 views. No, it's not only, that's a number. And consistency turns the 300 to 3,000 to 3 million. So start small and think of your end goal. That's it.
Great stuff. Nora's going to start leading our coaching sessions. I love it.
She needs to start team meetings.
What's the meme? Were you able to paste that in, Cups?
No,
Oh,
I
you
haven't
saw
found
that
it.
meme.
I haven't seen it. I
Yeah,
haven't
Cups,
seen
if
it.
you find it, send it to me. I've been looking
Yeah,
for
I
it all
haven't seen it
morning
again.
because I wanted
saw
to share
I
it.
saw it yesterday, and I haven't seen it
Yeah,
again.
me too.
I'm wondering, Brandon, if we have time or not have time, and if anybody else wants to see it, but what are the mechanics of doing this? I mean, I'm looking at it on LinkedIn, and if are you just submitting it like a regular video post, or is there a different mechanism to get in the beta?
No, it's what I understand, and team, tell me if I'm wrong. We just submit it like a regular video.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
just a regular video post with a caption, and when they're scrolling through the newsfeed, it's going to come.
I guess the test will be when I see one of you guys on it.
Yeah, team, why are mine not pulling up in the news feed?
I was kind of wondering the same thing. So
Well,
Yeah.
I don't even see the news feed. Like I don't see it at all on my app. I don't
Really?
know if I heard
Really?
somebody
Is it
mention
updated?
beta. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Did you update your
just
app?
read
You need
about
to
it, Joshua, and it says it's selected users. I don't know how they've selected users, but
It's down on the bottom bar next to the home.
Yeah, I don't. It's not there.
Maybe you got to update or
Yeah,
refresh the.
have you
I
updated?
I
lately?
looked at that. So I
Oh,
feel
was
like
that
it is
was
only
that Daniel
selected right now.
Willems? Was that Daniel
What's that?
Daniel Willems post? Was that
Yeah.
Daniel Willems post?
Nice eyes.
So here's what I'd noticed. Like if you just scroll through and find a post that is a video and you tap on it, that starts you into the feed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cool. Hey guys, I was going to go through this, and I don't know if I need to as much after the way the conversation's gone, but we got started. My Jeep thoughts video was like my first, like getting there. The team got me there, and now we've got to take it up another notch. We've got Michael Connors on the road to success. With his little graphic and intro and things like that for Cups and James and Seth and Michael Connor, our concierge clients right now. This is part of what we do for you. We just need you to work with us to get you there. Like, I think these need to be more organic and come about. Like James, I think, what I know about you with your leadership and all the reading that you do around leadership and personal development, and you coach your kids' basketball teams, man, I could see something around, Coach Gilman playing off that being 6'8". That helps people remember you. Oh, the tall guy. Like I leaned into the 5 kids thing, which is why I do the dad jokes and all that, because it's easy for people to remember I'm that crazy guy with 5 kids who's not a Mormon, type of thing. Finding, getting that to come out a little bit more naturally and organic, it makes it easier to be consistent too.
and
Hey,
I just and what was the target time frame? Did you say 60 seconds or less? Somebody, one of your
Yeah.
one of the
60 seconds or less. That's like top. Like you shouldn't ramble, but you shouldn't be too fast. So
That's
40
that's
to
my biggest
60
problem.
seconds. Yeah, well, don't worry, we're working on it.
So-
But yeah, 40 to 60 seconds, that's like perfect.
So I'm sorry if anybody else has questions, but I'm looking at Brandon. You have a 2-minute and 33-second video that's that style, but so that won't be in that beta. Is that fair to say?
I don't know. Do you guys know?
It will pop up in the feed. It will pop up as normal in the feed, but as Emmett was saying, like the attention span, you need to capture their attention span, and anything that's more than like a minute and a half, people will start,
Yeah.
okay, I'm over it. I'll move on.
And
There's some
humans-
measurement cups when it comes to engagement. So like if you have a video that has 100% view from start to finish, then LinkedIn is going to see that as like, oh, this was a very interesting video. And
Mhm.
so they're going to serve it up more. But if you got like a 4-minute video and it's kind of interesting, but I'm like, okay, he's still talking, right? Because our
Yeah.
attention spans are super short now, then you're going to swipe. And now LinkedIn's going to go, oh, this one's not as entertaining, so we're not going to serve it up as much.
That's why when we see each other's videos, even if you've mentally tuned out, don't swipe, just let it play. Help each other out, you know?
Fair,
You know,
fair.
even
I
if
like
you go, even if you guys go, Brandon's going on and on and on again, just go do something else and let me finish.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
It's playing, Brandon. Don't worry. I won't swipe out of
Thank you.
There
Appreciate
you
it.
go. Perfect.
Yes.
Cups and I
Yeah.
did a little co-branding the other day. I that was really my first video that I kind of made for this purpose last weekend, and I was out on a hike and I basically just talked about kind of multitasking, and I'm exercising and I'm listening to a podcast, and how great is that? And then I mentioned Cups, and actually here's a related question, although we haven't really touched on it, is the quality of the video was really splotchy. And I don't know if that was just the way that I recorded it or if it was the way that I uploaded it. But when I was viewing it as just a video that was playing on LinkedIn, it was kind of pixelated and stuff. And I'm not sure if that's something I did wrong or what. Do you guys, any of you guys know?
Were you recording it live? Like
Yeah.
in the platform, or did you record it as
No.
a video and then upload?
No, I recorded it as a video and then I uploaded it.
I don't know. That is weird.
So I
It
don't
didn't
know if
look.
it was something.
I mean, it didn't turn me off, Chris. I even
Yeah,
before
it
you
wasn't
mentioned,
super,
even before you
it wasn't
mentioned,
super grainy.
yeah, even
it was a
before I
little-
read your post and you mentioned me, I watched the video and I didn't think it didn't put me off, I should say.
Okay. And maybe it was because I was moving, so there was so much movement. Maybe it used a lot of data or whatever to create it. Not sure.
Yeah.
Can I ask a couple questions? Where did you record it on? Where did you record it? On your phone, on your laptop?
I recorded it on my phone and then I just uploaded it as a video directly from my phone
Okay, so
into
from your
LinkedIn.
phone?
Yep, from my phone.
Okay. So there is in the settings, in the camera settings, just enable the HDR. This one ensures HDR videos, and this ensures that your quality of your videos is always spot on. And when you upload it directly from your phone, just make sure you don't upload it through social media first, because this lowers the quality. So for example, if you wanna transfer it from your phone to your laptop, don't transfer it through a social media. Make sure to transfer it through email or through a WeTransfer link or etc. This also lowers the quality of the video.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
And where's HDR, Norm? I'm sorry, Neem. I've got to cross between
let
Norm
me
and
send
Reem.
you.
But I have
let
HD
me
or
send you
4K.
step by step.
I have HD or 4K is the choices I have.
Then you're okay. Yeah, then this is it. If it's enabled, then this is it.
Okay.
And also, I'm speaking for iPhone users. I'm sorry, I'm very, very like grade 1 users Samsung, Android. So I'm sorry if it's related to Samsung. I'm an iPhone user. I'm sorry.
That's good feedback. I need to take a look at my settings too and make sure. And pretty soon, guys, you'll be able to. I'm anxiously waiting to see what Nora and Daniel and others on the team have built, but you'll be able to load videos directly into the Fist Bump platform. You'll be able to create audio notes directly into the platform that'll go right into your Twin, and you'll be able to kick out a Creator Studio post and newsletters and everything else by it, just by using. We're not quite to the mobile app yet. It's still logging into the web app, but the goal is that you'll have a mobile app that you can do an audio note, do a video, load a picture, give a video and an audio note to explain it to your concierge All of that will be there and just go right into your twin. So you have it just accessible and easy with Creator Studio. And Chris, Josh, it'll be part of you won't have a concierge there that's helping you with it, but you'll still be able to use that same tool and then kick things out with Creator Studio.
Cool. I want to just throw an idea out to piggyback on what Nora was talking about earlier, as far as like starting and inspiration and what do I do. I'm going to strongly encourage you guys, as you are consuming these videos, that you bookmark and you literally take a note about a video that you like and figure out how to customize that to your own industry, to your own personal brand. Because like I've been sitting on this honestly for probably 2 months thinking of this, but like legitimately, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? There's lots of great content out there that totally inspires you. James, as soon as you lifted up your stapler, I literally thought of a stapler in Jello mold. I mean, It's like that. It just writes itself because it's already been written, right? And so I think that there's a lot of inspiration out there, but it's dependent on us to grab it and to actually turn it into action.
So do a how-to prank your video. Like how to make Jello and put a red stapler in Jello.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I think that'd be awesome. Like I think
it's like a baking video. It's like an office baking video. Like Jim never told you how he did it, but this is how you do it. And so it's like making Jello and then drop the stapler in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a bit of a challenge for you, James. Like, how close do you get to Dunder Mifflin without getting so close that you look like you're a bad attempt at doing it? You know, I think that's going to be your challenge around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Josh, I appreciate you saying that. One of the homework I had for everybody was spend some time on either Instagram or Facebook stories. I would say stay away from TikTok right now. I still think this is just my opinion. TikTok videos take it to like another level of like wacky, crazy, energetic, whatever. So, and I'm seeing a lot of head shakes. When the younger team members shake their heads, then I feel like I'm actually in the know. But I like Instagram and I like Facebook for getting ideas, and just piggybacking on what Josh said, be looking at it through the lens of how could you see yourself leveraging that style, or what can you get comfortable with doing, and what is your theme going to be that you can work around. I think that's where Prison Mike. Nice. I think that's what we need to start doing. And then I know, like Butch, you've got Aya ready to work with you on your personal brand and getting your videos going and getting more posts. But James Cups, you've got Reem and you know the team behind her with the mayor. We're ready to do that. We just got to start thinking of those themes and then putting the systems in place to do it. And I can tell you with what Nora and Aya have been doing for me, I'm just showing up and I'm doing videos based on them telling me what am I talking about. And it's freed me up so that when I'm getting on the videos now, I'm energetic and I'm excited instead of going, okay, what I'm going to do and how do I set it up? Like I get so in my head of setup and sound and style and all that. But by the time I go to record, I'm like, okay, so hey, everybody, this is really boring. And I'm even bored and I'm the one speaking. You know, it just, so when they do all that for me, I'm able to just come up and go, okay, I get to be, you know, the talent and focus on it, not focus on everything else. And trusting them to make me look good and not look silly, which is honestly kind of hard. Like I'm like the rest of you. I'm a CEO of a company and I want to do well and I want to grow, but I don't want to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Ship sailed, Brandon.
Nobody does.
What's that? I failed.
I said the ship is sailed.
Idiot.
Too late.
Yeah.
It's going to require a lot of work, Nor.
What was
He's up for
that?
the task.
I said
that
it's going to require a lot of work from the team for you not to look like an idiot.
Hey, I believe in them and have given them the hardest project ever. Don't let me look stupid.
You set yourself up for that one, so
That's all good. I can handle it. That's all right. You're next. They're going to work on your personal brand, shaggy hair and all.
Perfect.
Hey, I have my brand every day when I get up.
That's right. Cool.
There you go.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
are we doing
anyway-
is there a meeting next week or that falls on July 5? I know I'm taking it off. So I'm sure most people
Yeah,
are.
I won't be there.
Yeah, let's take it off if you guys don't mind. I'm actually going to be working, but I've got something carved out for my day that I'm going to do that I would like to not be able to do this if you guys are good with it.
No.
All right, anyone want to sum up from today? What are your big takeaways from today? What are you going to implement?
I'm gonna just say intentional, like to be intentional with this video, right? And Nora talked about it earlier, but like, what do you want as the outcome of this? Start there, and then just start.
Yeah.
So.
And I want to shout out to you, Josh and Chris, for actually posting videos, because last week we said, let's post videos, and you guys did. So that is amazing. And, you know, keep it simple to like once a week. Don't overthink it. And once you're going to pick up your rhythm and you're going to get excited and you're going to find yourself doing it like 4 or 5 times a week. So just start. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right, everybody. Anything else?
Happy
Throw it
4th.
out. If not, we'll see you in 2 weeks, and be safe on the 4th.
Brandon, I have
Don't go break
one
it.
side note.
Come back with all your digits.
Yeah. Go ahead, James.
Hey, so you real quick, you had made a comment about Amazon and the change that it made in products, consumers. There was a thought, and I didn't catch, but it felt like you were going to be tying that to LinkedIn and the what's happened in the business world.
Yeah.
And attention in LinkedIn. Right.
Yeah, I'll finish that thought. So just like us as consumers and the way we were buying from Amazon influenced the way that we wanted to buy from businesses, I think the video consumption we do as consumers has changed the lens of the video style that we expect from businesses now too.
Okay.
It used,
Okay.
you know, it used to be like, okay, I did this in my personal life as a consumer and I did business this way. That is just slowly faded away, I think, because of the internet, because of social media, because the way Amazon made buying so easy. We're like, well, if I can buy it here as a consumer, why can't I do it this way in business? And I think that same thing has been happening with video.
Yeah.
It used to be just the influencers had to do that kind of style of video, but because the influencers are doing that and we're engaging with it on our consumer side, we're now expecting it or looking for that style in our B2B business role. Because as I always say, we can't separate our humanity. What we learn over here, we don't separate. Just because now I'm in, you know, fist bump mode doesn't mean that I'm not going to engage with the same style of stuff. Does that give it clarity?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't make that connection. So
Yeah, which is why like the Shave Club did so well in what they did. And even though it was a consumer, that overlapped into like the way people thought about business and everything else. Does that make, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good example. Who's doing that well in business, in the B2B side? Why can't I think of anyone when I need to be on the spot?
yeah. Well, Dr. Squatch was with soap. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah.
It's like a $12 bar of soap. I'm like, I don't know how people are buying that, but
Yeah, I would say like Salesforce is doing a pretty good job with it, with what they're doing, even though they're a B2B side. But a lot of their advertising now and their videos are more influencery style.
Hmm.
I'll look for some as I'm looking and seeing them, and I'll save some and share it with you guys.
yeah, it was just an interesting thought. So
Butch, you're on mute.
Thought I was off. I got a great poster video for you. So Dollar Shave Club did have great razors until Gillette bought them.
Oh, they did?
Yes. Gillette, when the big company bought them, they ruined them.
Mhm.
On purpose.
Well,
I
it
think
tells you
that
they were doing
book-
something right.
Yeah.
So those big companies have crappy staplers, but you have great ones.
Right.
All right, everybody, I gotta run.
All right.
Appreciate you all.
Hey, great
Good
seeing you guys.
session
Bye,
today.
you guys.
Bye,
Thanks for a
guys.
great session.
Bye all.
Happy
Have
4th.
a great weekend. See you next
Have a
Friday.
great weekend.
See you guys.
Bye.